We are live streaming now. We are on an open live stream. We've been up for about an hour, hour and a half. We are on YouTube. YouTube.com. Yeah.
And we have
Kind of a mask. That'll work great. And the topic can be anything that you like, especially if it's a belief that it changes any of your actions. I mean, if you believe that water is 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, that probably doesn't affect your actions unless you're a chemist. Yeah, politics. Heck, physics. Anything. Yes. All right. Ah,
So I made it this far.
excellent.
I'm from Altitude.
Uh-huh.
Juan. John.
Okay.
My last name is Portuguese for rock. Rocha.
Ah.
Rocha.
Uh-huh.
It's rock. Did you know that French and Portuguese are Italian dialect?
That sounds reasonable.
French is known as Corsica.
Okay.
From Corsica. Portuguese is known as Napolitano.
Okay.
I learned that this past.
Juan. Yeah. I think that's yes. Uh-huh.
Where is he at?
FK is in North Macedonia.
Who?
FK is my producer.
Yeah.
He's the one you can hear through the headphones, and he's in North Macedonia. Hello, and I'm going to adjust this camera up. I bet Juan can hear me, right? You hear me okay here?
Yeah, I hear everybody.
Good. All right, Juan. You want to talk about homelessness? What do you believe about homelessness?
Well, I was homeless 11 years in Los
sorry to
Angeles
hear that.
County.
Uh-huh.
I was brought up here in Altadena in an orphanage called 5 Acres.
Okay.
So basically, John and Freddie Woodbury, the White Woodbury brothers, owned the town of Altadena, and they're responsible for bringing blacks from New York to, and they own an orphanage called the Children's Aid Society.
Okay.
And they bought 5 acres and on Mountain View Road and right off the JPL.
Okay.
Big old curvature goes northeast of, sort of like a southeast of JPL, or probably northeast. Is a big cliff and mountain.
Okay. I've turned you up 5 decibels.
Where is Macedonia?
Near Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rome time. 9 hours from here.
Yeah. I'm Asian, Egyptian, Israeli, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, American, and English.
Ah. Do you have to keep that on a card to remember it?
No, I don't know if you got it memorized. But I learned the dialects of Italy: Umbria, Calabria, Genovese, Milano, Toscano, Siciliano, Magagiano. There's Veneto, Milano, Romano, which is Roman. I speak Castellano, which is Castilian, which is Spanish.
Yeah.
I speak the broken British, it's the American English, the Southern.
Yes.
And California.
Broken British, I like that.
Yeah. This year I'm 44.
Only capable of that.
This year I'm 44, like a 44 Magnum. But yeah, I was homeless and I got into this program, an application that started in 2007.
Okay.
Now you can get a brand new apartment for $46 a month on an EBT card.
Okay.
And it's called Housing for Health. And it's under the social worker system of the county hospital system
Okay.
here in Los Angeles. I've been housed about 4 years. It was way
Excellent.
before COVID. Anybody ever thought about COVID? Yeah, and being homeless and stuff, it's like, you find stuff, always constantly recycling. People doing a lot of recycling bottles and cans.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. And I would always stay with my aunt in Oxnard, Ventura. And you go through life and you don't understand what you're about to find, the next day or the next year, week.
I mean, while homeless, you're just going through life. Can't
Yeah.
count on things.
Yeah. Life here in the world that we live in is expensive. It's not like it used to be when I was born in 1976 or when I was conceived in 75 or maybe when you were born, because the steak cost $2 back then and a Coke was like 5 cents.
Right.
I remember in '82, I was at Universal Studios, Studio City, and I was able to buy some soda for a cup of soda for 10 cents.
Okay.
The prices were low in '82.
Yeah.
In Altadena, you're able to buy a house for $45,000 in 1978, 79. Even a one bedroom in West Covina for $12,000. Like back when I was, 3 years old.
Proportionate to wages, what's that like? The math. I mean, I'm assuming dollars then, dollars now. Very different amount of time to earn that.
I know. Back then, it was a lot of money. It seemed like it was.
Yeah.
Does he have a question for you?
I have a question. Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking for a claim, insert something like about what we should do about home, or
What I
it's a
found
claim
out
about the world, something you believe that affects your choices.
What I found out was that Barack Obama, before he left office, he issued a bond to end homelessness in America,
Okay.
United States, and it was $650 billion.
Oh.
But are they taking the money? Are the higher ups, the people in the governor's office, are they taking the money and using it for vacation? Like they said, I had applied for housing, a voucher in Upland, and they said, we're discontinuing your search for a voucher. That's it. They sent me a letter, an envelope letter in the mail. Wow, what's this about? I didn't. Then you read in the newspaper, and it's like they say that the people in the higher ups, I don't know if it's district people or maybe somebody in the governor's office, that they said, oh, they use the money for vacation, so any of the funding going towards building projects, houses, apartments, is being used for different items. People, they're supposed to use it the way the law says to use it.
Yeah, that would be fiduciary responsibility.
Fiduciary, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, and I studied a lot about commerce, and I studied a lot about what could be possibly going on behind the scenes in the government. And
I have a question from the audience. Do you currently stable housing?
Yeah.
I don't want to be too personal. if there's any of these questions that we get personal about and you don't want to, just totally find it.
I have stable housing, but there are convicts and felons that live in my building, and it's like nothing. They're putting convicts and felons with regular homeless people. I receive threats, but I'm not issuing no names. I'm not. Whatever the beef was, it's all been squashed, and I live with convicts and felons, and I've been locked up as a 22 years ago when I was 22.
Okay.
I've been locked up in the jail system as well, so I know what it is to live in jail, and I know what it is to keep to myself. And I had to learn other things, maybe from this convict, but I'm not just one convict anymore. Whatever, anything has occurred concurrently, I don't know anything about it. I went to Las Vegas to go gamble. I was living in Las Vegas after I got housed. I got brand new kitchens, ovens, stoves, refrigerators, $1,000 free furniture, recessing lights, and a brand new $24 million building. It's in Van Nuys, but I'm not going to give location.
No. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm like, real close to North Hollywood, and like Van Nuys has its own airport. These fires have been going on. They're storing two, I think they're called super scoopers.
Okay.
Helicopters at Van Nuys Airport. And I do pay attention a lot to KFI and Connect and 70 AM radio and AM 640 KFI.
Okay.
That they're allowing the smoke to billow to cover the sun because they were saying that I heard it in a Dollar Tree store in El Monte that they're covering. It let the smoke billow overnight and during the day to cover the sun because the sun was hitting the earth too hard.
All right. So intentionally managing the fires to cool the surface
of the
by
earth,
occluding the sun.
We had a whopping 130 degrees, which was never done. It's never been done by God or natural, air that we breathe.
Okay.
It was 130 degrees, like.
I remember seeing
like last month.
That peak, 130 degrees in the valley somewhere.
Yeah, some guy died.
Yeah.
He was wearing a trench coat. What's so sad is that he was living in a Toyota 4Runner. And he parked it at a restaurant close to my apartment. Black guy, looked like Kimbo Slice, the wrestler, the UFC wrestler.
I'm not
large
familiar,
black beard.
Okay.
He's probably taller than maybe Kimbo Slice, about the same height. Someone called the tow truck or the police, and they had his 4Runner towed away. It was a beautiful black 4Runner. And he decided to sleep at this bus bench at this McDonald's for 3 years. But then when that heat came, that Friday and Saturday, like a friend in my building, a neighbor on the 4th floor, said he went to go assist him because he was going in and out. And they found him slumped over the next morning.
So
on the bus bench, he was already passed, and
he died on the bus bench.
Yeah.
Okay, from the heat.
From the heat.
Probably.
He would always wear this trench coat, no matter if it was hot weather or not. I don't understand why he did that, but that's the way he decided to go. And another neighbor on my floor said he could have did a lot of other things other than just to be in that situation. And I referred him to the program that I'm in, and he didn't really pay attention.
Why do you think he didn't choose the program? Is there things that the program requires you to do that he didn't want to jump
through? His mentality was not there. He's probably in his 60s, maybe 50s. Yeah, we don't know what goes on in someone's head,
Right. And mostly I have to take their word for it. And I know that sometimes I don't know what's going on in my head correctly. I look back and I go, I don't think I was correct, but I'm not sure what correct was. So while I'll take your word for what goes on in your head, I won't be certain you're right. Any more than I'm certain I'm right.
What do you think about what I've told you so far?
I'm really very happy that there is a program dealing with your need, and that it is accessible and not ruinously difficult to access. I've seen some of these programs that they're put on paperwork. You got to get a lawyer, and you got to this, you got to that. It seems like in that case you're offering help, and they keep pulling it away.
What do you mean by you have to get a lawyer?
For things like getting disability.
What's that again?
For things like getting disability.
Oh, getting SSI and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did that in the 90s, in the epitome of something that was good at the time.
Okay.
Today, I think they owe me like $80,000 in back pay. Dad,
Uh-huh.
a friend, an acquaintance, helped me with a law firm, which they referred me to someone else, and that other law firm is willing to take my case, but I need one piece of paper. But right now that COVID is happening, I asked Social Security for that piece of paper, and everybody's functioning from their house. There's no one at the Social Security Administration building. So I can't even get that paper. And I need to go to court to get that.
Wow.
COVID has stopped a lot of things.
It really has. It's been it's amazing how things get all slammed up. I think these systems are put in place, like having a piece of paper. I think we know that the paper is not the issue. It's the agreement about what's on it. You know, a copy of the paper would be just as good, that kind of thing. And we get stuck on the idea of it's this piece of paper makes a difference, as opposed to these people agree that these facts are true.
Before COVID started, I did go to the Social Security Administration building in West Covina because, see, my grandmother found me at the orphanage. She had 22 properties and a $2 million house in South Hills, West Covina.
Okay.
So she pulled me out of the orphanage and taught me Spanish. She owned a demolition construction company with my aunt. Taught me what it was to work hard. And now I'm 30 years demolition, 2 years construction, 28 years in electronics, 18 years in computers and cell phone. I'm computer tech and cell phone. Awesome. My Cadillac's down there, and I have a BMW parked at my friend's restaurant. But I'm just somebody who's just, not scraping by. I do collectibles. I don't know if you ever heard of Frankenson's collectible show. I think that one's got a YouTube channel too.
Okay.
It's in the City of Industry. I do boombox radios in the 70s and 80s, 90s. Stereos in the 70s, 80s, 90s. I got these put away in my storage in Alhambra. I got out storage in it. And in my apartment. One time summer of last year when I came back from Vegas, I had a car that left me stranded out there. I had an 03 Camry that the engine froze. And I came back and I found like maybe $10 in quarters in a church bag that gives you a Bible, some water, and some snacks or whatever. And
we only have water.
A week after that, I found...
Did you bring the Bible? No, sorry, we didn't bring any Bibles. Only water.
I know. What I said was that when I came back from Las Vegas, I found these things in a bag in South Pasadena on the curb. It was some water, so this quarters to do your laundry. It was a church bag that somebody left on the ground.
I see.
And it was a gift bag from one of these churches probably in South Pasadena.
Cool.
I don't know what church program offers you it, but it's like $9 to $10 in quarters to do your laundry. They give you a Bible, some water, some snacks in a bag. Kind of like a reusable grocery bag. Yeah. And then 2 weeks after that, I found all these silver Chinese coins in these cardboard boxes on Colorado, in Pasadena. And just in time for the gold and silver coin show down in Long Beach Convention Center.
Okay.
And I found some guy and I sold to him for 3,000. When I should have waited there and sold them to this Chinese guy that flew in from Texas. He would have gave me 10,000. But anyways, by that, so it was September 5th, 6th, and 7th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But I needed a car, and so September 5th, I so he gave me his business card, and then by that Monday,
Thank you.
By that Monday, I texted him, and he bought all my coins from that white guy for like $15,000, ungraded. They weren't coins weren't graded. But he gave 15,000 for my coins.
Wow. Helicopter.
Huh?
We have a helicopter. That's okay.
Sounds like a jet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's that kind of engine.
So I'm really like looking for, like this year I found a China doll. I found a Chinese jewelry box, a piece of ivory that has a dragon on it, Chinese. A little bit more Hong Kong coins, but not the same as like I did last year. I need to get the proper micro SD card in my cell phone, send it to this guy, the pictures of everything I have. And he might buy them from me, I don't know. But I'm one of these guys that just finds money. That's probably my cell phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my Patrick.
Okay.
No,
Do you want to take a break?
I won't take it. I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
He pays me $10 in cash, but I fill up 10 gallons of fuel for him. He was in a motel for COVID because they give homeless people a motel for COVID.
Okay.
And he got kicked out. He probably wasn't turning himself in. They have a special curfew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me shut the phone off better, because I know you're doing it.
It's okay if you take a break and take your call.
No. I'll turn it on.
Okay.
He wants me to go to his car, get all these. He builds bikes with motors on them.
Okay.
And he wants me to go to his car and pick up a 5-gallon plastic red gasoline tank.
Okay.
With another 5 more smaller little gallon. And then I go to Arco and then
fill them up.
Yeah, I fill them up and take them back, and I get $10. I guess he filed for that EDD money.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of fraud going on. KNX is talking about it all the time.
What is this fraud with the EDD money?
Well, people are digging up people's graves, their first and last names at the graveyards.
So they're doing identity theft or portraying themselves as
somebody else. This is what I'm hearing. And they're filing for $3 million, $1 million for their businesses. They're getting the money, but they're getting locked up. They're getting caught.
Okay. So they are fraudulently making a request for a development loan for a business that they don't own. They are not actually the person, kind of thing.
Yeah. And they're also like hackers. There's people going in the EDD website and doing a lot of hacking.
Yeah. So they're cheating. They're cheating a system.
You think about that? That wasn't happening in the 80s, was it?
Yes, but at a different level. And my information is that back in that time, I was a computer programmer.
Oh.
And back in the 80s, it was before the internet was widespread, and we had a very different idea about security, and our idea about security was to keep the doors locked and to trust everybody inside the doors, which means inside jobs really could be done by anybody with enough technical knowledge. They mostly had access. It wasn't until later that most companies started to realize they needed to take security more serious.
I had an apartment manager. Remember, I'm Skid Row. I'm Skid Row housing, apartment side. So basically, it's a program where if any of the poor people that are in Skid Row in LA, when they graduate their programs and they can move in an apartment. This is after SRO, which is single room occupancy. And I surpassed all those people just by doing the application, doing it a different way. And we had an apartment manager that was temporary.
Yeah.
She said she worked at Disneyland as one of the security guards for Disneyland. She said that somewhere in the 80s and 90s, like there was Russians staying in the Disneyland Resort Hotel. And she said that she was checking them out. They would pay with credit cards, I believe, that didn't belong to them. And they were plotting probably bombing or I don't know what they were doing.
How would be? Or is that just
my apartment manager was security for Disneyland. That's what she told me when she was working for security for Disneyland. She found out that there was some Russians staying in the hotel with credit cards that didn't belong to them.
Yeah.
And plotting different, like bombing, maybe. I don't know if it was bombing. But
yeah. I got a
plotting
relative
different
who
crimes.
works for Disney security.
Huh?
I've got a relative who works for Disney security.
Oh, yeah. That's what she told me.
Yeah.
What do you find? What are they finding out today? What did your relative tell you any stories?
She hasn't told me any stories like that. She tells me lots of stories, but nothing to the order of, wow, there's some people plotting to do bad things. Mostly, I think the story she tells me is that people have bad attitudes being asked give up things that could be weapons. Trying to get into the park with things that are on a prohibited list.
Yeah.
And having a bad attitude about it when you say, nope, you can't come into the park with that.
How long is your live?
Oh, my live will probably go on for maybe 2 or 3 more hours. This is our first setup here since March. So we're working out the bugs a bit. It's working pretty well. It seems like right now it's happening. I'm laughing. The audience said doing SE with Juan would be interesting. If only we had an SEer around. Yes, that's true. We haven't really been doing SE. The street epistemology thing. Mostly, I've just been listening, asking you about your story.
What is street epistemology?
Street epistemology is where the interlocutor, that's you, makes a claim, something about the world they believe. So far, we've had it's important to have a positive attitude. Another one says the law of attraction is very powerful.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are a lot of millennials into this?
Into street epistemology?
Yeah.
I do know several young people in the group. Right now, we're on a Discord that has just under 4,000 members, and I'm going to guess that a good fraction are millennials.
What were you doing back when? You're not Dr. Demento, are you?
No.
Oh, what were you doing back in the day when Dr. Demento was on cable?
Junior high school.
Oh.
Yeah, I got into Dr. Demento in junior high school. I don't think he was new at the time. I think he'd been already on the air for 5 or 10 years by that point.
And Wolfman Jack.
I never much listened to Wolfman Jack. I was familiar with him.
He was on
but
KRS,
Dr. Demento,
right?
Maybe.
Uh,
I don't remember what stations I was listening at the time.
am I closer
remember-
to Am I closer to your age? Because I
I'm
believe I was.
54. You're 44. We're just 10 years apart.
Oh. Hmm. I was 8. Oh, you were 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time back.
Yeah, you're pretty close to Kimberly's age.
Oh, she's still older than me too, huh?
2 years.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I bet you're older than Quinn,
Oh, I believe so too.
but he hasn't said so yet. He hasn't told me, and I'm no need to ask. It's all good.
So, what does epistemology stand for? What does that mean?
Epistemology is the study of how we come to learn.
Oh,
If you give me a new fact about the world,
did I teach you anything today?
you taught me important things about what the security, what the public support is in this area regarding homeless folks. You've taught me about scavenging,
Yeah.
finding things and being able to sell them. You've taught me that in some cases you thought you were too quick to sell something because you'd have been better off to sell it to the guy they sold it to if you'd have had the option.
And my friend is.
You taught me about languages.
What's so crazy is that my friend retired from Bond's Union for 42 years. So when I was 42, about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, he told me, he said, you need to find a Chinese person to buy those coins.
Huh.
And I didn't listen.
Okay.
That's what happens when you're, like you say, Discord. You're not really in tune with reality.
Discord is the somewhat tongue-in-cheek name for the platform that we're chatting on. We're on YouTube, and we're actually in a room that's on Discord, and there's several people in the room that are watching us that are chatting back and forth.
But Discord has different meanings as well, as far as the British
it's like
tongue.
discordant, yes,
Yeah.
and
We
it's a
know
play
that.
on words that they would say Discord because it's a place where people come to communicate.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you can manage to avoid Discord.
Yeah.
In street epistemology, we're very much trying to avoid the conflict that happens in communication, and instead find the way to have a good conversation, even across lines. I'm not saying that we're necessarily across lines, but I want to be able to speak to anybody from any extreme and be able to have a productive conversation.
Right.
Yeah. And oftentimes that's about a claim, but there's a couple other ways. Like I could ask you questions about how you see truth. That, for example, here. I haven't opened this. I have not counted it. Would you agree with me that there is an even or an odd number?
Yes.
Okay. And if she were to say it was even, he were to say it was odd, one of them would be wrong.
Right.
Okay. That one was fast. We have a lot of people who don't agree with that because they say, well, there's no wrong or right. And that's one of the things about epistemology.
What are these things?
If you have a claim, you could say these are just a scale of confidence. Like if you ask me if the earth was round, I would say my confidence is just an absolute sliver from absolute certain.
This reminds me sort of when I was in the orphanage as a kid. And they would have this little booklet. And it was a psychological thing where like, they would flip the page and there would be these ink blots. And can you tell me what this looks like? And I tell them, oh, it looks like a butterfly. You remember those things? Those ink blot.
Oh, you're like a Rorschach test where you take the ink, you fold it together so it gains symmetry, and then you look for recognizable patterns within the symmetrical randomness.
Yeah.
Well,
in the orphanage, they had these booklets and tell the little kids in the 80s, what does this look like? What does that look like? They flip the pages.
Yeah.
This sort of is like, gives me some kind of...
Yeah, our logo is a bit like that. It's very symmetric. And then this is just confidence scale. which is really, I think, the main goal about street epistemology is when I have a claim, if I made the claim, oh, I'm just going to pick something silly, copyright for too long, and it's suppressing music. You could then ask me the reasons I believe so and how I came to that conclusion and what my confidence is. And then we could look and see if my confidence is justified given my reasons. And maybe my confidence is too high or too low. I think a lot of times people will have a claim, and when they talk to somebody about it, the other person will try to convince them to their side. And they won't so much be talking about the first claim, but they'll be talking about the new position and whether to accept or reject it. And then if I were to reject that position, I might have this bad habit of increasing my confidence in my claim because look, it survived a challenge, defeated that position, but we never examined my claim. So it would be improper for me to increase my confidence on my claim in that case. So that's the kind of thing we're doing.
This reminds me of puzzles.
Yeah. And for that, we have puzzle pieces. You can have red, yellow, or blue, and these fit together. And these are gifts we give out as an obvious bribe to make you come back for more conversations.
Did you like Dr. Demento back in the day?
I did. I liked Dr. Demento so much, I gave one of my children the middle name Barrett, named after Barrett Hopkins.
Did he have was that Dr. Demento?
Yeah.
He had a studio underneath the church in Pasadena?
That wouldn't surprise me. I never knew very much about the background of the show. I was very into the kind of music that was the parody. I really enjoy parody music. I really enjoy Weird Al Yankovic.
Like Fish Heads and all that?
Yeah.
Did you like that song?
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. Fish heads,
eat them up.
Yum. Yeah, Billy Mooney.
What's that thing there?
Which thing?
That black thing with the two red things.
Oh, that is a holder for a cell phone camera, or for a cell phone, because we were using a third shot. We were trying out, like for instance, right now, if you see the screen, you'll see that we are each on a camera.
Yeah.
And then there was a third camera off to the side, so you could see the wider perspective. And Quinn that's on Quinn's phone, and we're playing around with it between shots. Right now, there's no phone. Yeah. Hey, it was hanging out in the sun, and that phone overheated.
Is she your significant other?
Yes, she is one of them. This is one of my wives.
You live in Montana.
No, I have another wife and a husband. She's off at work, and he just dropped us off.
No.
So I'm in one of those weird, very liberal relationships. Yes, intentional planned family, it really says.
How many subscribers you got?
Probably approaching 200.
200?
We're about 2 months old as a channel.
Wow.
Now I've been doing this kind of thing starting January with another friend of mine, Reid Nicewonder, who's got the channel CordialCuriosity, and he's got about 13,000 subscribers. And in fact, this is his table.
Is it true that
my microphone, his table, his board? He loaned me his equipment.
Is it true that? Well, my friend Anthony said that if you get 20,000 subscribers, YouTube will start paying you $10,000 per month, I think. Did you hear anything about that?
Okay. By the way, Reid reports that I have 179 subscribers right now, and
that's great. More power to you.
Yeah,
I like your show.
As far as how much money, I think it's actually a very small amount. But yeah, you have to get up to several thousand before it even gets to pennies.
But I'm hearing my friend Anthony said he wanted to get a YouTube channel going, and he said
It doesn't cost anything other than the.
He said once you get 20,000 subscribers to YouTube, will pay you 10,000 a month. I think that's what he said.
I will ask. I have a friend who's got 54,000 subscribers.
Okay.
And we could ask him.
But you gotta what? Email him or I am him.
I will actually ask somebody in the live show to ask Anthony if he's available. If he can say whether it is true. I don't want him to say actually how much he necessarily gets, but whether it's a lot more or a lot less than 10,000 there. By the way, Reid says, who has a channel with 13,000 subscribers, says criteria for YouTube partnership: have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 valid public watch hours, and then based on the watch time you can get paid. As far as how much, though, I understand it's a very small amount until you get into, say, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't actually know what the numbers are.
That's true.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I got a guy that I'm subscribed to, and he stands for civil rights, a guy named Jose. And his YouTube channel is SGV.
Okay.
It's first.
SJV?
San Gabriel Valleys, SGV.
Oh, SGV. SGV.
First, I think. And he likes to go with his camera to where the police are that are just resting there and tells them. No, Jose's cool though.
The sun and the wind have conspired to put me in the sun. The sun
Jose's cool based on, I like his show. He's really funny. He'll go to a factory and stand just right.
Oh yes.
He'll stand right there just at the sidewalk. And start filming inside. As far as what the eye can see, the law says you can film as far as what the eye can see
from a public location. Okay.
And then the main CEOs, the managers come out of the factory. What are you doing filming here? You're not supposed to be doing that. And then they call the police or the sheriff, and they come around and like, oh yeah, we know this guy. He has a YouTube channel. He's doing that just show what civil rights are about or the law is about, things like that.
So somebody just asked, are there other people waiting? No, there's nobody waiting. You can be there's no lines waiting. By the way, I got an answer from Reid on, it's 18 cents per view or $18 per 1,000 views. Once you've got to that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Cool. Uh-oh, Quinn says he can't hear anything.
Is that the guy in Macedonia?
No, Quinn is right here.
Oh,
that's Quinn.
You're good.
Good, I'm glad. And for some reason my show has okay, there we go. I can see me again.
They can see me.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Okay, so let me see. Is that turning the volume down on that device? Am I hitting the right button?
No. You're probably raising the volume. There it goes.
Is that down?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me know when it's all the way down.
It's not going all the way down.
Yeah, it doesn't go all the way down. Okay. All right, that's fine.
It stops where it stops about right there. That point.
All right, good enough. What's happening is because we're going through the mixer, we're both going in and out of my audio on this camera. Yes, good. Okay.
The guy in Macedonia, like, how'd you find him?
He found me. I went to the Street Epistemology Discord, which is actually where we're meeting right now. It's just a Discord server, and we're in a voice chat room. and we started talking just in general chat rooms about the plans for this channel, and FK volunteered himself. And FK is the brains behind this thing and all the technical that makes any of this work. Except, there we go. Yeah, FK is amazing.
What does he do on his side?
He's a computer tech, and what he's doing right now is his computer is looking at the Discord room, looking at our video feeds, and then puts it in this window where you see street epistemology down here at the corner, and you see a little background of the trees that was taken earlier. And also, if I type a question like this, tang, and then I have a little button here that he set up for me that allows me to change things on the screen directly. So he's operating a computer there that is stitching together the show for us.
Guess where I was yesterday?
Yeah, it's real close. It's very hard. But yes.
It blasted in his ears?
It did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
FK, are you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
FK, guess where I was yesterday?
I will guess, yeah, in Los Angeles County.
I was in Pasadena, but
okay.
I love to play Black Ops Call of Duty.
Okay.
I'm on season 10 on mobile.
Okay.
I was literally playing like in Italy, but they have these regional playoffs in Japan and in Brazil.
Yeah.
It's a cool military type of game.
Mm-hmm.
It's out in Italy with a guy named Micchiano.
Okay, so you were playing Call of Duty while you were in Pasadena with a fellow who was in Italy named Micchiano.
In Italy, yeah.
Okay. Were you playing against each other or as a team?
As a team.
Okay, and did you win?
Yeah, but we kept having some kind of a contest where like who'd get first place and who'd get second place.
Uh-huh.
And he usually win first place because he's going around with a knife and stabbing everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I have the sharpest gun. It's called a BK-57.
I think sharpness helps in knives.
What's that?
You said you have the sharpest gun. I think sharpness helps in knives.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bayonet on the end of the thing.
Yeah.
I'm being intentionally, literally silly.
He goes around and stabs everybody in the game. And I go around and shoot everybody with a BK-57.
Okay.
Which is like probably like pointed bullets and could kill two people in one shot if they're standing right behind each other like this.
I see. So high penetration.
Yeah, and a BK-57 is a real assault gun too, I believe.
I've heard of the AK-57. Wait, AK-47. So a BK-57 would be a letter up and a 10 up.
Yeah.
From that. Okay.
And any of your viewers?
Yep. Done.
Any of your viewers play Black Ops?
We could ask them. Anybody in the Discord familiar with playing Black Ops? And we've unmuted the room so they can actually answer you. If you want to unmute, you can talk to him directly. And Rich says, nope, I don't. But there's several.
I feel too
Fine
violent.
Onion says, go ahead.
Who was it?
I don't know. I think they were afraid of stepping on me. Go ahead, speak up. Wait, just what is the claim for the question? Well, there isn't actually a claim at this point. Juan was telling us a lot about his life and hasn't made a claim that we've been testing. So this is a lot of rapport and interesting conversation, learning what it's like to be in Pasadena and homeless some of the time. And
Well, when I was
what the
homeless,
system has.
I was a squatter.
Mm-hmm.
I had squatted in a property that was already sold
Mm-hmm.
to Chinese guys worth $2 billion.
Uh-huh.
He's one of China's #1 traveling agencies.
Okay.
What I found out. I'm not gonna give out no names.
Good. Thank you.
And
we don't want to
I met
dox
him.
you or anybody else.
I met him. He bought the property from a Jewish company.
Uh-huh.
But the building used to belong to the Pacific Stock Exchange.
Uh-huh.
And it closed in 1986, which was California's stock exchange. People don't know that California had a stock exchange. Is that a good topic?
It's a claim about history, so it's just easy to accept.
Did you know California had its own stock exchange?
I seem to remember something about that, but I know very little about it.
Well, it was here in Pasadena in a building somewhere.
Okay. So there was a West Coast.
It was
stock
called
exchange.
the Pacific Stock Exchange.
Pacific Stock Exchange. That makes sense. That's very Pacific-y. That makes sense. Yeah. So maybe I'd like to try something else with you, depending on if you have time for it. We have a survey of 24 questions.
All right.
And I would love to hear your opinion, whether you agree, disagree. Okay, is there an easy way to show this? Am I asking for something crazy? Anyway, my memory is the first question is, yeah, I will roll with it. The first question that I remember is, truth is that which corresponds with external reality. Do you agree that truth is the way you check truth is that it corresponds to external reality?
Of course.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So I'll take that as a strongly agree. What is the next question? I don't have those in a piece of paper in front of me. I see that FK is moving things around on the screen and it's going to show us. This is great. Yep. Reid responded, people experience the same reality and only interpret it differently. Yeah. Oh, I think that's the next question. Do you agree that people experience the same reality and only interpret it differently?
Yes, that's possible.
Okay, very good. Somebody's typing. Oh, look at the whole thing here. All right. The third one. Whoa, okay. Truth depends on the opinions and beliefs. Okay. If people change their opinion, does truth change?
Wait, what was the first one again?
Truth. The first is truth is that which best matches external reality. Can you see the screen here?
No.
Not really.
Question number 3.
Question number 3 is truth depends on the opinions and beliefs of people.
You can use the confidence scale as well.
Yeah, you could also use these scales if you want to say yay or nay, and we can transcribe them.
Well, I believe the way that the world is that mankind has made a different types of path.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone believes in a certain path,
Mm-hmm.
then they have the right to their opinion too.
Okay. So people have the right to their own beliefs, to their own path, to
Yeah.
their own assumption. Does that make their path true, or their beliefs about that path true?
According to them, it would be.
Okay. So that's maybe a different kind of truth than was in the first question. The external reality truth.
External reality truths just all depends on the topic you're talking about.
Okay.
Could be millions.
We'll come back to this one. So number 4, people create words and define their meaning.
Now, are we talking about Oxford College creating words every day?
If I call
Spain?
this a jar, was that word jar made by people? Did
Yeah.
people make up that word? Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any words that were made up by not people?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I can't think of any examples either. All right. Something is true if everyone agrees to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Back at some time in history, I'm not sure when, the general opinion was that the Earth was flat. Was that true then?
For some people,
Okay.
they believe that was the truth.
Very good. Number 6, strong belief, even without action, change external reality.
Yes.
All right. Some beliefs should not be questioned.
False. No.
Okay, so there are no beliefs
Huh?
that are so if you say there are not any beliefs that should be questioned, is that correct? What you mean?
I'm saying that are there many beliefs that should be questioned? Yeah.
Okay. Are there any beliefs that shouldn't be questioned?
No.
Okay. Number 8, someone can be certain of something, yet still be mistaken.
True.
Okay. Audience wants examples? Okay. Oh, okay, yes. They ask, what would an example be of a belief that should not be questioned? Oh, there are no beliefs that should not be questioned.
Right.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood that. My bad. I misheard it. Number 6. It was strong belief even without action. Okay, so the question was about number 6. All right. And that was strong belief even without action can change external reality. Can you give us an example of a belief that can change external reality, even if you don't do anything about the belief?
As far as this just depends on different topics, basically.
Okay.
Repeat the question again.
The question is strong belief, even without action, can change external reality.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be a strong belief that could change external reality?
For example, Moses and God, when Moses was in contact with God and he
Okay.
had a firm belief.
So it was
God
Moses' belief that made the action?
Well, he did put action to his words too.
Yeah, he did. So there was some action there.
What's that?
And so there was some action there beyond just
Yeah.
the belief. Okay. So,
But
all right.
the Lord also says in the Bible, it says, like the grain of a mustard, if you have a stronger willpower, faith to
Okay.
God above, you can move mountains.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I grew up in a Christian fundamentalist missionary school for the first 20 years of my life.
Well, I have a doctorate in ministry in my church since
Cool.
98, 22 years already.
Cool. Which church is that?
It's in Bell Gardens.
Okay. Is this
Pentecostal.
okay, Pentecostal church. Got it. Yep. Familiar with those. Question number 9. It is bad when someone doubts their beliefs.
Is it bad?
Is it
when
bad
they
if someone
doubt their beliefs?
Yeah.
It might be confusing.
Okay.
I don't know about being bad, depending on the situation that they're in.
Okay. Can you think of an example where someone could believe a thing and that it would be bad for them to doubt it?
Shooting a basketball in a hoop.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way where you can just, abruptly shoot it without thinking.
Okay.
If you have a bad belief about not making it in, that's gonna confuse you and stall you. You might end up messing up,
I see. So doubting your ability to make a shot in basketball could cause you to miss the shot because you overthink it. You get
Yeah.
stuck in your head.
Yeah.
That's a good example. I like that. Is that a belief about you shooting the basketball, or is that a method?
Well,
is that doubt that is the issue?
I say college and MBA, that's all they live for. That's what they live with their faith at home, but they live in their faith of their shooting. That's what brings home the bread,
Yep. Number 10. If all members of a society share a belief, they are justified to hold that belief.
Yeah. I remember James Warden, 1978.
What did he say?
Do you know who James Warden is?
I think I don't.
Jonestown, Jim Jones.
Oh.
So they all believed
Yes.
that they would go to heaven.
Oh my.
And he gave them
drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid or the...
Yeah, I think that's what we mean when we say drink the Kool-Aid, don't we? I think that's where that idiom came from. Okay, so were they justified to believe?
They were justified to believe that they would go to heaven, but only the Lord will come back in the end to see who was more faithful to him. Huh?
Do you think they were correct?
According to my faith, they weren't correct.
Okay. Very good. Believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true.
I think it's a tie.
Okay, so believing false things feels just like it, just like true. They're equal.
If you believe to your heart, that something is false, whether you're right or wrong, you're truly believing in that. If you believe in something that's totally true, then that's with your heart as well. But the thing is the question is, what topic are we talking about? These are all just...
Oh, well, if
these are all just...
Does it matter which category it's in?
These are all just the same main...
They almost are.
They're all
this
just
is
the same
24
question.
ways of looking at truth and belief. Yeah, I agree. They're just 24 angles on the same idea.
Yep.
Yeah. So the category matters? What category of belief it is?
Sure.
Okay, which
mean,
category is
It
handled
could
which way?
possibly, yeah.
What would be an example of one thing in one category and something in the opposite category?
Same thing like Jonestown.
So Jonestown was a bad belief to hold.
Yeah.
And what made it a bad belief?
Because they were dealing with a complete idiot, a druggie, somebody who was
Okay.
hooked on drugs.
So the source of the information made it should have made it obvious
Yeah.
to them that he was incorrect. What if they didn't know about his drug use?
Well, they should have known that when they went down to Guyana and his security guards came back with tractors and shotguns and they killed the governor. Was it the governor? Who did they kill? The guy that from the government?
I was young when it
Congressman.
happened. I wasn't real clear about what happened.
And they killed the congressman.
Okay.
And there was a congressman.
So when they killed the congressman, the rest of the people
got
should
to
have
the
known.
reporter.
Okay.
He went down there in the airport.
Okay.
Somebody passed a note. There was a kid that said the night before, when the congressman or whoever it was, senator, congressman, whatever it was, and he said, I could only take 15 people with me in the airplane.
Okay.
As a little kid, somebody passed a note to the congressman, said, we're all going to die here, you too. And the little kid said, oh, somebody passed a note.
Uh-huh.
Their belief was with Jim Jones, and there was white people down there too, and
Okay.
their belief was that, yeah, we're all gonna try and go to heaven. Yeah.
Did they know they were going to die if they took the Kool-Aid?
They knew they were gonna, that something was really gonna happen. As far as, because, when he started to bring the VAT around, something called the VAT,
Okay.
and
If they just called it the punch bowl, it'd have been never so much livelier.
what's
a big
so
party.
what's so confusing is that the more modern news is saying that 700 of them took an injection in their arm.
I didn't know about that.
That's the more modern news about it. I don't know about that. We weren't there, so we didn't know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my understanding is
It was cyanide.
900 people
With
died.
cyanide and Kool-Aid. What was that other one? It was like Kool-Aid.
I don't know, but it obviously a sweet drink intended to mask the nastiness of something that poison maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something in a punch bowl. Doesn't matter whether it's got fruit juice or not, right?
That's what happened.
So does this tell
And
us? Go ahead.
My best friend's aunt and her children were in that one. But the new modern news is that you had to pay $2,000 a ticket to get on the airplane to go down there with them.
Okay. Is that unusual? I mean, that sounds expensive, but it's a
For
special flight.
$2,000?
Yeah, that seems like a lot of money, but
In 1978, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Does that tell us about believing something that is false feels just like believing something that is true? For them, did it feel like it was true?
Yeah, for them, they felt it was true, that they would go to heaven.
Can you think of any examples where believing something false, and when I mean believing, I don't mean just you're like, yeah, but you're pretty sure about it. Does it feel like does it always feel like it's true? Can you tell the difference?
It all depends on what topic you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
As far as, are we going to the beach? There's water there. Are there crabs there like there used to be in the 80s? No.
Okay.
Remember when the little brown crabs would crawl up to you and you'd be able to grab them? Little white brown crabs?
Yeah.
You'll be lucky if you even find a little quarter piece of a shell now.
Yeah.
At the beach.
Yeah. I live on a boat in the marina most of and I go diving and clean boat hulls. I see lots of little crabbies in the boat hull stuff.
The little white ones?
Yeah, they love to crawl on the undersides of boats.
But when you go just to Santa Monica,
yeah, I don't know about the beach.
they're gone.
I haven't seen
They're
them
not
on the
even
beach, I
there
agree.
anymore.
Yeah.
And the water was more bluer,
Uh-huh.
right? There's been some oil that's been.
You know, I remember the water being different colors at different times, and I'm not sure if I can remember whether it was. And the thing is, I used to go only to the beach, and now I'm in a marina, so my view of the water is so different now than it used to be. I can't really compare. I usually see the water from underneath.
Yep.
So often.
What I'm talking about is just, there when you just go to the beach from the sand to the shore.
Okay. I'd like to move on to number 12. Feelings are a reliable way to discover truth.
For me, no.
Okay. Number 13. Believing something without evidence is admirable.
For me, no.
Okay. Is it important to know where we came from and what happens after death?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, yes.
All right. Number 15. Believing something that is false is okay if it gives you comfort.
For me, no.
Okay.
For others, it might comfort them. You want me to give you an example?
Sure.
I rented 100 cars between 2003 to 2005.
All at once? No, over 2 years.
In 2 years.
Uh-huh.
I had an apartment at Old Town with the old YMCA. It's called Centennial Place across the street from the City Hall in Pasadena. Enterprise, Hertz, Budget, Avis. I was in a new Chevrolet truck. And this white guy with his family was like, they looked at me. They're like, this is not real. We got this Mexican guy in a brand new truck that we've been trying to purchase, and we don't have the credit for it. And there's, oh, it's fake, and they left. It's fake. You understand? It comforts them to say that
they decided that it was fake, that you were in a truck they couldn't get.
Yeah. So they're like, it's fake. Come on, let's leave. It's fake.
Huh.
I understand that it was a rental truck, but I was in it.
Yeah.
You saw me in it. So the truth and the real reality and virtuality about it is that you saw me in the truck.
Yeah. It's
not fake.
Right.
Don't worry about how I financed it. I'm in it. Oh, it's fake. Let's leave. But I have nothing against that person.
Right.
I'm glad that they took the time and, to judge me.
I have a water.
Because then, sometimes you can see who wants to hide their real feelings about something.
Number 16. I give all claims the benefit of the doubt when I first encounter them.
All claims?
Yeah. Somebody comes to you with a claim you haven't ever heard of. Do you give it the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, explain.
Okay.
What kind of claim?
So somebody says, I think it is true that scientists with telescopes have found the gas phosphine in Venus's atmosphere. That would be a claim about reality.
So are you trying to say I should believe it?
Well, would you would you be open to believing it if you were given
Yeah.
the right kind of information?
Yeah.
Are there some kind of claims that somebody could make that you would just reject out of hand?
Well, I'm not really a scientist, so I don't even know any of those gases.
Okay.
But I could give it a thumbs up. But yeah, maybe that's possibly true.
So, do you give all claims the benefit of the doubt? Meaning, you don't reject them completely, you don't accept them completely, you
The
wait
benefit of the doubt. Yeah.
yeah, benefit of the doubt. Good. All right, number 17. Someone is justified in their beliefs until they are proven wrong.
Yeah. That could be possibly true.
Okay. Number 18. The most important criteria for my beliefs is that they match reality.
For me, yeah.
Okay. We're the last fourth. Yay! Almost done. Number 19. I often investigate beliefs that do not match my own.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of a time you've investigated a belief that was different than your own? And what did you find out?
You do it all the time on YouTube, on the internet. Let's say you're fixing your BMW and you're doing an injector job, a spark plug job, and a fuel pump job, and
Mm-hmm.
you want to see various videos on who found what in their BMW
Okay.
and how they're teaching you how to fix it. And so this one guy has one thing he can provide, and the other guy didn't have that, but this guy did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yesterday, my friend sent me a video that showed me how to perform a job on a car that I didn't know anything about. It turned out he was right, and it was fun. Number 20. I am comfortable with saying I don't know.
Yeah. I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. And then number 21. It is beneficial to find out when I am wrong about something.
Yeah.
Good. Number 22. I will abandon a belief if I discover reliable information that falsifies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And number 23, I look for more information before I accept something as true.
Yes.
Yes. And number 24, it is possible that some of my beliefs are not true.
I guess it depends on what topic.
Do you have a topic on which you are certain about your beliefs and you couldn't be wrong?
Yeah.
What's that topic? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah.
I would like to know what topic you are very certain about.
Just like, when you have the sun that rises and the sun that sets,
Uh-huh.
that's really going on.
Okay.
There's so many different things that you can do in a day. But you got to take it one day at a time,
That's my husband that just went by in the van. Anyway.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Well, it's her husband too. Anyway. I wonder why he went by.
Did you hear my answer? That was a pretty good answer, huh?
Whatever floats my boat?
No,
No, before that. It's possible that some of my beliefs are true, and the sunrise and the sunset, those things are absolutely certain. You could not be wrong that the sun rises and the sun sets.
and that There's a lot of things to do in a day.
Mhm.
You got to take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things to do in the day, and you have to take it one day at a time.
As far as
Okay.
where you're concurrently at, and I understand you could do a lot of weekend planning, but or yearly planning,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well,
that's
one
on
day
the
at a time isn't
business.
necessarily about
That's on the
24 hours.
business
It's sort
side.
of like just going along and being present. I understand.
Yeah,
Not literally 24 hours.
yeah. But relax, that's what life is about.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
That's cool.
Don't let nobody rush you into something,
Okay. Thank you for this conversation. I really enjoyed it.
So am I on point? Am I pretty good? Am I Batman down there at Hollywood and Highland?
I'm not sure that I'm not sure there are absolutely correct answers to this question. This is really so much a question of how you see truth. How do you approach reality and truth? And I'm happy to see you have a clear idea about much of it. I agree with you much of it. Let's see. Yes. I don't think I have. Does anybody in the audience have any questions before we finish? And yes,
Is everybody
you can certainly ask that
everybody in the audience in the United States?
No, the producer is in North Macedonia, which is like near Greece.
Yeah, well, besides him, he's your producer.
Uh,
Is everybody else in the United States?
okay. Reid says Florida. Rich says France. California. Argentina.
Wow.
Republic of California. Norway.
Wow. What did they?
Maryland.
What did they think? Was I okay?
Poland. Well, I invited anybody to see what they think about his answers to the survey. I wonder specifically if anybody has any one question that they found his answers the most surprising, perhaps.
This guy sounds like from Argentina.
He's from North Macedonia. And the thing is, he speaks 6 different languages before he gets to computer, and he grew up in Switzerland, so he's all scrambly poo.
Does he speak Spanish?
I think that's one of them. But
what was your question?
My question was, I wanted some elaboration on number 14, if you don't mind. And number 14 is, it is important to know where we come from and what happens after death.
To me, it is, yeah.
okay.
So, like I told you, I'm an Egyptian, Asian, I'm Israeli, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, American, and English.
Mm-hmm.
I did research about where my lineage comes from. So, and my aunt told me that my great grandparents are from Spain, but my grandparents are from Mexico, and my parents are from Mexico. And I'm born here, but I'm not first generation. I'm like, I could be like, I think I'm like second or third generation.
You could be both, depending on your grandparents.
My great grandparents from Spain, and the language I speak is Italian, but I have a Portuguese last name. But then you have your 2 grandparents. You have your grandmother on your dad's side before she married, her last name. and you have your grandmother on your mom's side before she married,
Hmm.
and you have her last name, and you have your grandfather's, your mom's dad, and your dad's dad, and you have all four of those last names.
Okay. Yeah.
But where did those last names originate? Right?
Hmm.
In,
Yeah.
in
All
other
sorts of
countries.
places. Okay. Yeah.
So is it important to know at 44 years old where your lineage came from? Yeah,
Hmm.
to
Okay.
me it is.
So knowing where we came from, that part is important to you. Maybe there's two questions here. To know where you came from, and is it important to know what happens after death?
Yeah.
Tell me about knowing about after death.
Well, the Lord said He's gonna make a lake of burning fire, eternal fire. I don't want to be a part of that.
Okay. What do you know that from? How do you know about hell?
The Revelation in the
Okay.
Bible, Holy Bible, King James. Did you read that part too?
Yes. I grew up in a fundamentalist missionary school. It's kind of Southern Baptist for the first 20 years of my life, and my parents were young Earth creationists. Well, they still are, sir.
All right. So did I ask did I answer FK pretty good?
I think so. I'm kind of going down the path of the next obvious question is, why do you trust that Revelation got it right?
Because it was written by Hebrew and Greek, and it was done by mankind. As far as the Revelation says, Saint John was one of the saint. There was a lot of Saint Johns, but
Okay.
he's the one that wrote.
How do you know that what St. John wrote? Okay, first of all, when we're talking about the revelation of St. John, it was a vision that was written down on the Isle of Patmos. He had a dream, he had a vision, and he wrote the stuff down.
Yeah.
And how do we know that his vision was true as opposed to
Because this is what I believe.
an exception? Right,
That's
you believe it.
Yeah.
Why do you believe it? What convinced you to think so?
I believe in dreams and visions.
Ah,
When it comes to being in the church,
okay. Can dreams and visions be incorrect?
not the ones back then.
Okay. Are dreams and visions sometimes incorrect now?
Yeah.
Okay. What made them back then reliable when they're not now?
Well, first of all, they didn't have no heaters back then. If you sit your head next to a heater
Uh-huh.
or furnace in your house, there's a proven fact that I can tell you I've had nightmares, even during the day.
Okay.
It all depends on the
What-
individual.
What causes that?
The heat that goes to your head if you're watching a lot of television
Okay.
and internet. So
If-
it's going to build an image when you go to sleep. And it might be bad.
If let's say back in the day you had a campfire, before you went to bed you put the campfire up, but it's warm, so you put your head near the campfire. Do you have bad dreams?
Quite possibly, probably so.
So that's the kind of thing that could make your dreams unreliable.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know that did not happen to St. John on the Isle of Patmos?
Because there's other prophets in the Bible that foretold something and it did come true.
Ah. Okay, so the other prophets in the Bible validate this John's vision was correct.
Quite possibly that if they stick around the other disciples, then they're able to
Okay.
be more, such as a monk in
Okay.
the monastery. It can be more private. So I believe that when they stuck around each other, quite possibilities that scriptures they were writing were.
Okay. So because
The revelation is tricky because it also says that we are in the empty space, and we're in that empty space right now.
okay.
We don't know what's going to happen, from here to 2 weeks from now.
All right.
We're in an empty space.
So you said that because they hang out together, it's possible somewhere in here, it's possible from unlikely to likely that someone could have a true vision.
Yeah.
How would we know how likely it was in this case, specifically for St. John writing the Revelation, because
They
that was the
followed
source.
protocol,
What protocol did they follow?
praying to God and keeping things holy.
Okay, if we do that protocol today, will we be able to have visions that are true?
Like I said, they stuck together. They built churches. So it was different back then.
What did they do differently than what we do today? What do we do today that messes it up?
Wow, look at Trump. Look what he did. We can't even go to the church right now because of COVID.
Trump did that?
I'm hearing he did. I'm not blaming him.
Okay.
I voted for him, but I'm
Okay.
not. I'm saying that it was his presidency. A lot
Okay.
of people are saying that he's
On
responsible.
his watch,
Yeah.
this occurred. So let's say a year ago, before COVID was a thing, were they following the protocol, and could they get visions that are true?
Who did?
Who did that? Well, you're saying about 2000, well, a little less than maybe 1900 something years ago, whatever the dating is, that at that time they were following a protocol and they did things that allowed them to have visions that were reliable and true. And today, we're not doing that very well.
Are you trying to say 2,000 years ago?
I'm trying to say 2000 years ago, but I understand the Revelations was written in maybe the year 90.
The Jewish calendar says we're in year
Right, I'm
we're in the
working
year
off the sequence.
8,000. 8,000.
I'd like to go back to Revelation.
Yeah.
And understanding the secret sauce of what allows us to have confidence, John, on Patmos, when under the same kind of situations in the modern day, I'm not sure why I would believe. So if somebody writes a thing in 1960 and I was on an island and I wrote this
But
down.
there is a part of his scripture
Uh-huh.
that says that he saw also an empty spot.
An empty spot.
Yeah. Where he says, the Bibles were closed for a few.
What, a place where the scrolls were closed? We're talking about in Revelations when the scrolls were closed, the seals and 7 seals,
Yeah.
opening scrolls. Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about.
I've read it before.
So
I've read it several times when I believed it, and about
those
once
were
since
the
I didn't.
woes. Those were the
Uh-huh.
woes.
Okay.
But according to according to God,
Mm-hmm.
there's been too many changes everywhere
There's been too many changes for what?
in the world.
For what? Too
No.
many changes for something to happen, for some.
It's not the same. We're not living in the old world where, Jesus would talk to the disciples and say, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Some pastor,
Okay.
some pastor could be some guy,
Uh-huh.
a pastor from Pentecostal church.
Yeah.
Could be approaching my vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm getting in my Cadillac. I close the door and take off and go to Las Vegas. I don't have to listen to his preaching.
Right.
That's the difference between shutting everything up, sealing things up, not wanting to hear about the Bible, and then, or he invite me to his church and I go to his church.
Mhm.
And everybody praise to God and me too. So that would add another person.
Okay. If I were to come across a story written down by somebody who was on an island, how could I tell whether the story was true? How could I check?
It's true, we weren't there.
It's true
But-
that we weren't there, or
Right.
it's true because we weren't there. You're
Yeah,
just saying
it's true because we weren't there.
it's true because we weren't there. Okay.
But to figure it all out, it's better to leave God to figure it out. We have to live our daily lives, to try and be as holy as possible.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'd like to leave it at that.
all right.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate your talk with me, Juan.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a screenshot of that of the test, and perhaps I could. Yes. And can you see this? I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Come around and have a look.
That's small. Barely.
Yeah, I'm wondering. There.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering if you'd like to take a shot with your camera, so that you have your answers for.
I don't need them. I'm good.
Okay.
What is?
These are just the 24 questions that you answered, and
Yeah.
what your answers were. That was kind of cool and useful.
You guys could keep them. You guys gonna keep them? What are you guys gonna do with them?
We don't usually keep them. Usually it's just for the duration of the conversation. Now, this was a live stream and it will stay on YouTube. So it is kept, at least in that sense.
Is your live stream done?
It's on right now.
Oh, it's still on?
Yeah, we're live right now.
What do you think about the answer? Pretty good.
I agree with you on a lot of them. On some of them, I see that you will accept some things as true that I don't accept as true.
Like which one?
I've been an atheist since about 2007 or 8.
But you told me that you had a doctorate too. I mean that you got something going in the ministry, right? Christian ministry.
I was a theist until I was 41 or something. And I grew up in a missionary school. My parents were staff in a missionary school.
Is that bad?
No,
No?
not at all bad. I'm saying that I believed in God for more of my life than I didn't. So I'm very familiar with Revelation, and these days I don't believe it. And
These days,
and I
my
don't want
belief.
to
These days, my belief
push
on it.
people off because of that. Go ahead.
These days, my belief on it is basically leave it up to God. God has all the answers.
Okay.
I'm not scolding you. I'm telling you, just
Yeah, I hear you.
relax. Have a holy day if you want to. And I'm not forcing religion on.
I appreciate that.
But
And I'm not forcing anti-religion.
there's been
on you.
people that have been forcing their religions on me. So
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I would like to not be that in either direction.
but it was a good topic as far as those things concerned, as far as You know your questions. Where did you get those questions at?
This list of 24 questions was written in 2018 by somebody who does this kind of thing, epistemology, named Ben Diesel from South Africa.
Oh, I thought you said Vin Diesel.
Ben, again.
You heard of Vin Diesel?
I have, definitely. And if I even look for Ben Diesel, Google says, you mean Vin, right? No, I'm talking about Ben.
Vin Diesel's Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Beat Street. He was in Beat Street.
Uh-huh.
Remember the breakdancing movie in New York?
I believe
at
you.
the Roxy? You didn't see Beat Street?
I don't watch much movies.
No, back then.
I believe you, and I really don't.
I'm more into hip hop. I'm a computer tech and cell phone tech, but I'm also a promoter to something called the OG Poppers Picnic, which is also on YouTube and Facebook. You get to meet celebrities from the early breakdancing movies.
Nice.
Rap stars from the 80s and 90s. Soul Train dancers, choreographers of Michael Jackson. Most important choreographers of Michael Jackson. I known about Hollywood since 1981. So I was like 5 years old. Wow, they almost hit each other.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't. Oof.
Did you hear that?
I heard a squeal and a bump and I didn't hear the crash.
Did you hear the
So I'm
horn?
real happy. I heard the horn and I heard the squeal. Yeah. I heard the upsettedness. Indeed. Oh, somebody just put Vin Diesel in the live show text.
Can I go get my other mask?
Yes.
Talk some more. I don't mind. What's this?
I
left my car with the window down. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You can take one of those three. You can choose. And the idea is that if you come back for more conversations, you can collect all three. It's one of these obvious bribes to get you to come back for more conversations.
And all in all, what is this thing?
It's just a gear.
Yeah.
Like a machine working through something or working through the gears. It's supposed to be a metaphor for like clearly meshing gears in your head. When gears grind, that's like cognitive dissonance.
It's about thinking things through.
Yeah, just thinking things through.
All right.
Indeed. Yeah, if you come back, I'd love to have Quinn talk to you.
Quinn?
Quinn? That's Quinn there. The one who, he's also an epistemologist.
Where are you going?
I'm going to be right here. We're just trading off.
Oh.
I'm not going anywhere.
What is epistemology life about? Asking questions?
Epistemology life is about really holding critical thinking as a high value, really taking the slow, deliberate thinking about what you believe and understanding the why you believe, as opposed to, I think a lot of times people will come to a belief through simple reasons. Like, for example, I believed in revelation, and the reason I did was because my parents told me it was true. And my church told me it was true. When I was young enough that I didn't have the opportunity to check it for myself. And then later on when I checked it, I didn't believe it as much because my standards had changed. You know, but 40 years later, okay, when I was much older.
That's crazy how there's houses here on the hill.
Yes.
A lot of that scenery is in Italy.
Houses on hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of hills there. And a lot of people. They need a lot of houses. It's a good thing.
You should pan your camera over there so Mr. Macedonia.
Okay. I will take this camera. And you see the houses on the hill over my shoulder? Beautiful houses up on a beautiful hill with so much beautiful engineering to hold them in place carefully.
Juggling lessons?
Juggling lessons. That's me. That's the name of the channel we're on right now.
Yeah.
And the name came back from when I used to teach juggling at Renaissance Fair. That's how I got the. So I've had the handle for 10 or 15.
Where's Renaissance? What Renaissance Fair did you wait? Don't tell me. Is it the one in Santa Fe Dam? is it?
Agura. Was that?
Gura Hills?
I think, yeah, Agura Hills.
Wow, where's that at?
I could find it on a map. I can,
Find it, hurry.
if you take the 91 freeway out to the 15 and go north, and just before you turn onto the 215, it's like the second to last exit. It's way out in the middle of a windy area.
Ontario?
Yeah, near Ontario.
I didn't
It's
know Gura Hills was over there.
Maybe I'm wrong about the name of the place. Devore was the closest local town. Maybe Agora Hills was the one from prior. I'm probably thinking about this incorrectly. Anyway, and it was not just that Renaissance fair. That was the most common one. For many years, I really enjoyed wearing old fair garb and teaching children to throw up in public.
Teach children how to juggle, right?
Yep, and adults, but more children were interested than adults, so it was 70% teaching children.
Is he related to you?
Only in the same sense that you are.
Oh,
I think all
I thought he
humans are
was
related.
I thought he was your son.
Nope. That's my wife. That's my husband. That's my friend Quinn. And I have to go pick up our other wife. Yes, you do. Okay. Good. Yeah, walking would be no fun with this much stuff. Probably. All right.
Did you ever own a Harley?
No, I did own some other kinds of motorcycles. I did have at one point a Yamaha V-twin. That was a little like a Harley, but never owned a Harley.
Should I come back? I left my window down.
You're welcome
in
to.
my car
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
with another mask on and a hat.
Yeah, and we have spares if you run out.
I've been in Monrovia this whole month,
Uh-huh.
helping a friend named Petey who lives in an RV.
Uh-huh.
Gonna be his caretaker.
Good.
Clean out his.
Nice. It's good when people get cared for.
You gonna let me have one of these?
You totally can have one of these. So he's taking a tic tac. So update from odd to even or even to odd.
There's several.
Wow. You know what? The reason you're overdosing.
You got a card?
Let's see. I don't. Would you hand me one of those? A Reid card? Yeah, I'm going to hand you a Reid card. Reid is my mentor. I only had 2 of those, but these you can get a hold of me on. Yes.
Who's Reid?
I think we'll keep streaming as long as we get another chance. If you run out of time or there's a reason for us to stop, I bow to your need. Reid is first of all, Reid is in the audience. He was one of the people asking some of the questions, and Reid is the first guy I did this kind of thing with in public, and he taught me a lot of what I know. And I don't have my own cards yet. I'll get to that. I've only been my channel's only 2 months old. I'm Dali, D-A-L-I. Like the painter,